take it to the other side. I'm feeling lady. I'm gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. You know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. And we're gonna get real. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. And you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. And we're gonna get real. Come on, baby. Let's take a ride. I don't know where we're gonna go, but first, let's dance. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optolong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Things are becoming intense. I ripped my jeans on your fence, hiding away from your man. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, tell a tale of 1,000 lonely days. to be together. It's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, Deborah, I'm getting caught in the rain, standing here calling your name. Guess I got no one to blame. Yeah, it's a small town. Yeah, all the people turn and stare. Oh, it's a secret. Hey, let them see me. I don't care if you want to be together. It's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together. If you want to be together, it's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, say you want to be together. I'm feeling really guilty, but it feels so bad. Yeah, so good to be together. Get together. We did it before. We can do it again. I'm tearing out my hair because I don't know when so good. You want to be together. Yeah. It's so good to be together. Yeah, so damn good. If you want to be together, it's so good, it's so good, yeah. What the hell's wrong with my telescope now? Yeah, what's wrong with this thing?
The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell? Do one thing right, I may do two things wrong. If I want that fine line, I will always take the ball. If I don't do left, watch it lead from the right. I sleep all day long, then I'm breathing through the night.
I wonder what it was that made me want you. She couldn't understand what made me hard. She's climbing out my open window. I'm laying here alone and cold and dread. Yeah. dark and tangled. I never saw her turn her head and shame. She's standing out the open window. I'm lying here alone, cold and gray. So take another breath and come up for your oxygen. Hey, you know you wanna kiss the flesh and blood of every man, every man. Well, we all took turns and you swallowed the world. I never realized till you sat with us, man. And she said, I want more. Give me more disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Disgusting stuff. Oh, you're making me disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Give me more disgusting stuff. Yeah, a little bit of disgusting stuff. I want more.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optolong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. What's wrong with my telescope now? Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell? You want things right, I make you do things wrong. If I want that fine line, I'll always take the fall. If I just do left, watch it hit from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm breathing through the night.
I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. We're gonna get real. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Come on, baby. Let's take a ride. I don't know where we're gonna go, but first, let's dance. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little. And that was not 10 seconds. That was 2 seconds. I don't know how that happened. Wow. Yeah. How's it going? How's it going? I was not expecting that. Awesome. Well, we're here on our Saturday afternoon edition of AstroWorld, and we're here today with Stacey Downton from the UK, and that's the reason why we're here a little bit early tonight. And great to have you, Stace. It's a wonderful time, and
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to have you here, and glad you can make it. So as you know, you got Eric and Pete here with us, and you know, I mean, I know everybody probably knows who you are. I mean, you're yeah, everybody here knows who you are. But
Yeah,
why don't you?
I know who you are. I'm a big fan. So hey, this is
Thank
a
you.
blast for me.
Agreed. And I'm sure people are saying in the chat already, hi Stacy. Somebody said hi Katie, but that was Wednesday night.
Charity. Oh God,
Charity. Oh my God, would you really?
It's all good. It's all good. I'll take it.
I'll just do that. I'll put the hi Stacy across. There you go.
Oh, hey.
But why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and you know, where you're from, what you do, and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So yeah, some of you may know me from doing my YouTube videos, AstroStace. But in my day job, I work for the National Health Service here in the UK. I test X-ray and ultrasound machines just to make sure they're safe. They've got good image quality, which also ties into my sort of astrophotography stuff, because you know I have to be sort of familiar on like digital image processing and you know different types of detectors. I live in Birmingham, which is, I say, the second largest city in the UK. Some people say that's Manchester, but whatever. I deal with a lot of light pollution, and I've been imaging, doing astrophotography since early 2018. I recently took a big break from doing any YouTube videos, but I'm back. So yeah, happy to be here chatting to people. So yeah, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, no problem. And we're glad you're back. I know you took a little bit of break, and sometimes you know, especially when you're doing content and you want to do certain things, and sometimes just life in general just gets in the way. And you know, sometimes we all need a break. I know Queeve took a break a couple of months back. You know, you took a break, and it just happens. It says, you know, it's you know, what do we call it? Video burnout. You know.
Yeah. Life burnout.
Yeah. Life burnout. It could definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Alba is asking, and I'll throw it up on the screen. How long before the wedding?
Just over a year.
Just
It's
over a
gonna be
year.
May
All
next
right.
year.
You
Yeah.
get to stream the wedding.
Oh my, well, the way that people keep saying, "Oh yeah, are we going to be invited?" I might have to stream it because you know these things can get out of hand.
As a matter of fact, I've been banned for some of my best friends' weddings, and you know, that was not a good thing. Never throw a mosh pit at a wedding and injure the grandmother. Don't do it.
Oh yeah. No, I'd like to have seen footage of that, to be honest. And what song were you dancing to, or moshing to, rather?
There was no such things as these when it happened, so there's no proof at all except what I say. So,
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the upcoming, you know, stuff.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
It's probably the only thing that's more expensive than astrophotography. So
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, you know, you have to sort of ketchup chips, or you see him send some, you know, to Dan because he loves them, you know. So he loves it.
No, not true.
Ketchup flavored Lay's.
Yeah.
Well, I was up in
can't
Canada.
say they're my favorite.
No, I was up in Canada and I was visiting. Well, I went up there because I'm a big Rush fan, and you know, so Neil Peart, the drummer, died, and they actually had finally after COVID they had this tribute for him. You know, it's helping out, you know, brain cancer research and that kind of stuff. So, I went up there, and I went there and while I was there, not only was I able to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, which I'm a big hockey fan, and I was able to catch up with Ron Breacher and Sean Nielsen, and had dinner with them and their wives. And one of the presents that Sean gave me was ketchup chips. And I did a little bit of a live stream while I was eating the ketchup chips, and the look on my face, I should say, is probably
Yeah.
Utter disgust.
Yeah. No, not a fan. Not a fan. On my ketchup, on my fries, on my burger, fine. No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
but so now that you're back, back in full swing on astrophotography and all that stuff. I know that you built your Pier, and did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
How's that
do you want me
holding
to
up?
show a picture?
Sure.
If you want me to show a picture of my
Absolutely.
So this is you can see a sort of hint of the Pier. If I put this picture up on my screen and then sort of, is that toggle sheet screen sharing? Yeah. Here we go. Hey, can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the Pier, ignore the cable spaghetti, but yeah, the Pier is basically two concrete blocks that are bolted and glued together and then cemented into the ground. Now that point is very important because sometimes when people see this, they get a bit crazy and they're like, "Oh my days, you're just balancing two blocks one on top of the other." And I'm like, "Do you really think I'd put all that kit on that if it wasn't secure?"
Yeah.
So I kind of have to point out that it's very, very secure. It's managed multiple hits of me from the lawnmower when I'm mowing the grass. You can see the grass is like icy because this was a few weeks ago when we had a really cold snap. That's why the sky was so clear. But yeah, the Pier has been really helpful for me. It's been in since 2019, and I sort of repolar a line probably every 3 months, and that's mainly due to sort of we get seasonal shift in the ground because of the temperature.
Sure.
And I leave the EQ6 on it all the time. I just remove the whole sort of scope and camera and take that inside, and this all lives under a Telegizmo 365 cover, which is wonderful. So yeah, it's been pretty good for me.
Is this your current imaging rig right now? Is this what you're using?
Yes. Is that still on the screen? I can't tell.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is my big newt. I call her Big Bucket.
Okay.
And because it's basically a light bucket, isn't it? So, and here you can't see it, but I've got the Nexus Starizona Nexus 0.75 reducer. So it's down at f3.8 now. So now she's called Big Fast Bucket. So I don't like to take myself too seriously, as you can tell.
No, you'll fit right in. Don't worry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's an 8-inch, I think, 200. Yeah,
8-inch, 3.8, 3.9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be. And then what Bortle sky are you at over there?
So if I point in sort of the way the telescope's pointing now towards north, that's about Bortle 8. And then sort of behind the scope, it sort of fades out to a 6.
Okay.
So because Birmingham City Centre is to the north, so we get a big light dome there. And also there's a driving range in that direction as well, and they have like evening sessions and they have big floodlights.
Nighttime driving.
So yeah, with those big floodlights, it can be quite challenging in that direction. But yeah, it's not too bad.
Hey,
So.
there you go.
Awesome.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just got a question in that, and then I have this question as well, since I have 3 of them. Where's Luna?
She is downstairs. I will give her a call in a minute. She might or might not come because she might be sort of still chasing cats or squirrels because it's still quite light here at the minute. So I will shout her, and she may venture up anyway because she's really nosy and she likes to herd people. If you're not all in the same room, she goes from one room into the other. And yes, it does need an AstroWorld sticker. Yes, it does. Yes,
there you go.
Yes, it does need one of those. Yeah.
Send me your address, and I'll send you a bunch of stickers. There you go.
Amazing.
Actually, I'll throw in. You like wine, right?
Oh my god, yes. Can
Yes.
you? So you can't see it, but next door, next to me, I
Star
have a bottle
catcher.
of.
Oh,
Yes.
a little Shiraz. All right, there you go.
There you go.
But how cool is the little telescope on the front? Though?
That is
That
pretty
is.
cool. So
Yeah,
what I'll
it's-
do,
it's re-
what I'll
it's
do
nice
is
too.
in the package, I'll send you this too. There you go.
Oh, you're a legend.
Look, and it's got the sippy cup top, so you don't have to spill anything.
Nice.
On it, right?
And you know my my Pier, because it has like the sort of holes in the blocks. It's
Yeah,
great
there
to
you
put
go.
a cup on there. Yeah,
Nice. You got a shelf. It's right there. There you go.
yeah. I'll take a picture of it on there.
That's awesome. That'll be great. Now all we need is an AstroStace single malt. That's all we need.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So tell me, Stacey, I've got a question for you. We have next month we have Neef coming. Okay, here in what is there any type of equivalent there in the UK or nearby in Europe, or what do you? I'm not familiar with it, so maybe you can share that.
Just happened, right?
Yeah, so there's a few Astro shows in the UK, but the only one I tend to go to is the Practical Astronomy Show. And yeah, so basically a lot of Astro vendors get together to show off their wares and tempt people to spend money, and they also put on talks while you're there. It's only a one-day thing, but it's all free. You don't have to buy tickets for it. You just get when you get there, you can queue up for sort of pass to each talk, so you can sort of like select which talks you want to go to, and if there's still tickets available, it's free. So and they tend to have different sort of topics on every year, and it's actually the guys at Altair Astro that organise it. And I talk to Nick and Ian a lot, and every year they're like, "Oh, do you know anybody who would like to do a talk?" So yeah, Dan or Eric, I'll be like, "Yeah, come on, come and do a talk for us."
We can do a virtual thing, no problem. We can do that.
Yeah, because they're always
hey, we're worldwide, man.
Yeah, we finally got our first. I think what was it like last month? We got our first person that actually watched the show. Now, this could be a lie depending on what Google Analytics says, but I mean, I don't know how that works. But supposedly we got our first watcher from China. So
nice.
So we're in now 14 countries, people watching. So that's number 14. So.
Next up, the world.
It is.
I want somebody to watch from Antarctica. That's what I want. I want somebody to watch.
That's the goal. I feel like I need to make this my mission. So like putting it out on Twitter and finding some kind of research scientist that's there and saying you need to watch this.
Just one day,
and then
5
bullying
minutes.
them into
it.
even if it's a bunch of emperor penguins with a TV with a computer in front of themselves, and you're just streaming. I'm okay with that.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah,
no problem.
We'll take that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's asking where's Luna on the chat. Everyone's going crazy.
Right. I'm going to mute my my speaker, my mic, while I just go and shout her. See if she'll come. Okay. Because otherwise, you're going to end up with no. You're going to have
I
no
got
eardrums
these things
left.
in my ears. Don't do that, man.
All right. Yeah, she's muted now.
No, I don't think she's coming. She might in a bit.
She's too busy with the neighbor's cat. That's what it is.
Yeah, she might just appear now that I've shouted her.
So are you you have any projects going on or anything going on right now? Or
so no, not really imaging projects. Oh, she's here. Hang on.
Oh.
Come here, Luz.
Oh, she heard you.
Oh yeah.
And there she is.
Luna.
Hey, Luna.
Here she is. Oh, you're a good girl. Yes. She makes
she's
me
so cute.
feel really silly because I always talk in really silly voices to her. Oh, you was a good girl. Yes.
Like, scratch my head. Scratch my head.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's gonna fall asleep
Oh.
there.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
is.
Right. Shall I let you go? I think she's looking out the window trying to see if she can see the cats
Yep.
again. But yeah, I know
I
she's
got
going to
you.
sit here for a little while. So no sort of projects ongoing at the minute, like imaging wise. However, because it's daylight savings time as of tomorrow.
Yeah, we've had it for 2 weeks. We hate it already.
Yeah, I hate it. Well, I know we're kind of getting into galaxy season, and I've got a few issues with my newt because they're a tinkerer's dream. I feel I need to flock it. I need to put some black paint on, all the shiny bits. So I am going to start looking at, taking it to pieces and changing everything in it. So I'm not going to do it just yet, but I'm going to start the research into doing all that. And I bought at PAS, so the Practical Astronomy Show.
Oh yeah.
I also brought this little thing. Luna's obviously just
there you go.
Got her head straight. Yeah, this little mini track thing, which it's a portable tracker. Doesn't need any power. It runs like an egg timer.
Nice.
And
you gotta wind it up, kinda, or right?
Yeah.
It looks like a knockoff
for a
of
few
the
days.
It looks like
remember the
it does. And it's the cross between that and what was that, Pete? You remember this? What was this? The Peterson Dobb tracker where you had to reset every 45 minutes? Is that what it was? So, but you know what? It's great because it's portable, and that's what we talk about that a lot these days with the portability of things. And you know what? Everything's getting smaller. Just 3 years ago, the EQ6R, which I have one just like you, was the number one thing on the market. Now it's like 3 years later, harmonic mounts are the big thing. Smaller is better and more weight capacity, and so everyone's buying Red Cats and FRA 400s and stuff like that. And so what do you think about the evolution of what's going on, and what do you think the next one might be?
I have no idea, but I do like the look of these harmonic mounts, but I'm always very wary of being like an early adopter of these things because when something new comes out, there's always issues. They can say there's not going to be issues as much as they like, but there is going to be issues.
I mean, look at Windows.
And somebody can
perfect example.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do a Windows update the first week. Don't do it.
No,
I know. I never do. Somebody came up to me at the show and was like, "Oh, would you recommend one of these harmonic mounts?" And I was like, "On paper, yes, but I would wait maybe 6 or 8 months or something to see. Let everybody else deal with the issues, and then you don't have to."
Yeah.
So yeah, because they are going to be the latest thing, the latest trend, because all the manufacturers have brought them out. I mean, at PAS, I saw one from ZWO, saw one from Pegasus. Ioptron have done one.
Yep.
I don't think Skywatcher have done one yet, have they? But
no, they came out with the center balance CQ. They came out with that, but the only other one that I know of that's in that price range under 3,000, because the Pegasus is at that high part of that range.
Yeah.
The only other one that I know of is the Sharpstar Mark III. So those 4, as far as I know, now I've been able to test every single one of them. The Mark V, the Mark III, the AM5. I purchased the Pegasus myself, and the HEM27 from Ioptron. So I was able, and you know what? They're all, for no counterweights and all that kind of stuff. All of them were guiding in New York onto Bortle 8, crappy seeing, disgusting, just like you look at, like you have in the north. Under 0.5, average 0.4 to 0.7. I mean, at one point the other day with the Pegasus, I got and full disclosure, short focal length. Let's just say that right now. Before, so it's a little bit more forgiving than than a $1,500 millimeter focal length. But even with my AP130 at 870, I was getting 0.4. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good on all of them.
It'll be interesting to see how these mounts actually like run in, like if after they've been imaging out in sort of dewy conditions for a season or 2 seasons, because degradation does happen.
Now TJ Conley from AstroNorth.com. Yeah, he has the AM. He's part of the ZWO team, so he's been dealing with it for quite some time. He's put some videos out, and he has a 9. His primary rig is a 9.25, and he's been using that. And I don't think he's been using any counterweight with his at all.
Wow.
And he's been using it for like a year now, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit more. I remember it's not, well, now that we're in the spring now. So it wasn't this winter, it was last winter. So it's probably closer to like a year and a half, because he was one of the first beta testers of it. And he like,
I'd love to give one a go.
Oh,
the technology is already proven itself.
Say again, Pete?
The technology has already proven itself. The Hoban mounts have already been out there. The Rainbow mounts have been out there. So harmonic strain waves have proven the technology. It's just now with Pegasus, ZWO getting into the bandwagon. But I mean, Rainbow and Harmonic, Hoban have been out for long. So the technology is proven.
Yeah, I agree. It's when these, I say low cost, but they're not really low cost, are they? These sort of mass manufacturers get into it.
I guess.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember being at an Astro camp, and somebody had a Rainbow Astro, and I was quite impressed with it. But then I think they were having issues with it, but I'm not sure if that was
user error,
because it was. Yeah, I'm not sure, but then I didn't know enough about it to kind of help either, because when you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
The only thing that I could think about with the Rainbow is that sometimes with just with anything new that you get, and if you're not familiar with the software for it, it can be a little bit daunting. And Rainbow Astro comes out with a software called what is it? iHubo, if I remember right. And
wow.
Yeah, Hubo I. I'm sorry, Hubo I. And it takes
weird. Hubo I. It still sounds weird. Doesn't matter.
It is a bit weird.
Yeah, so it's something. It's not like Cinta or Skywatcher or you got what is it CPWI for Celestron. These things are more prevalent because they're more of the mainstream of the if you think about it, the Hobums, the Rainbows, even the 135 or the 300, they're they're the higher end of the price range for most people. And you think about it, when you don't have the hands-on experience with that type of software, especially when home position and park position and that kind of thing kind of mean different things with different software. So some is hibernate, some is park, some is home, some of so you got to kind of get used to that. Once you get used to that, I have a Rainbow sitting in here that I've been testing for about a month now, and it's awesome.
Nice. Do you know what? If anybody's out there that wants to send me one,
hey,
if it was mine, I would be happy to send it to you.
I know. Yeah. It's cool. Because I am really interested in them because I had this pretty bad neck injury, so if I can make anything lighter for myself, I'm on it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not, and when you've got you have Hobum, you have Rainbow Astro, we're using those two. They're maybe not as they're popular, but maybe they're not as mainstream as say an Altair or a ZWO or Pegasus. I want to call those a bit more mainstream or more
I think that's a good word for
because
it,
they're the more that budget area, or intro level where you see a lot of like, say, Trevor or, you know, and others that have these more popular, I guess, or more heavily advertised, maybe more is a better word. Of so you hear those a bit more, and so yeah, when you got these coming out, especially back with ZWO has been the hottest thing now for like the past 2-3 years, especially with the ASI Air and everything. And then all of a sudden now they've got a mount, and that, you know, and it's not just any mount, it's not just any EQ mount. Now it's the harmonic strain wave, you know, and all that stuff. So everybody's and oh, it's only $2,000. Yeah, I can afford this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of those things that, you know, it's those seemingly more budget friendly types of things, you know,
Absolutely.
that people are more grasping onto and stuff like that than versus maybe like the Hobums or the Rainbows, which seem a bit more higher end or more expensive, you know. So, and it's just, yeah, it's ZWO and Pegasus and all these other, and Ioptron, they're just catching on. They're just finally catching on and saying, hey, there's maybe something here.
Absolutely.
Versus, you know, Hobum and, you know, and Rainbow Astro, they've been like, what are you guys talking about? We've been doing this stuff for years.
To be honest with you, I'd completely forgotten about those two manufacturers because you don't see them around very often. And sort of in the amateur astrophotography sort of groups.
This Hoban mount behind me was the very first Hoban mount sold in the United States. It's a Crux 178. You know, and that was back in January 2017. And it's amazing that from then how this thing with Strainwave has taken off, because it's just phenomenal. Because you're absolutely right, when it comes to having the ultimate in portability, you know, it really just makes it that within 15 minutes you're up and running, instead of taking at least half an hour to 40 minutes to be able to set up if you've got like one of the higher precision mounts. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yes. We're only here for Luna.
It's the story of my life, honestly. Whenever I go to a show, it's like, where's Luna? Where's Luna? And I'm like,
it's like, this is just great. You know, my dog is more famous than I am. This is awesome.
It's so true. It's so true. Like at the Practical Astronomy show, I was chatting to people and people were coming up to me, and literally the first question's like, oh, where's Luna? And I'm like, do you really think I'm going to bring my crazy dog to an astro show where she can literally wrap herself around the legs of tripods and pull it over?
Exactly.
You know, I told my wife, Jen, I said, listen, you should bring Pepper. Pepper is not that large. Pepper is my little Chihuahua. He's like 4 pounds, so he goes in a bag.
Very cute.
You know, he goes in a bag. He doesn't do it. You know, you won't even. You know, he'll bite you first if he. You know, but telling you.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's funny. So tell me more about your rig. Are you I think I remember from one of your videos, I won't say recently, but you started moving more exclusively to mono. Is that correct?
So I dabbled with mono.
Okay.
I've still got my mono setup. But what I was struggling with was purely the unpredictability of the weather in the UK. Well, where I am, I tend to live in a bit of a microclimate. There's some hills to sort of the south, and I think like the cloud and stuff sort of butts up against there and then just comes over me. So I was really struggling to finish projects in mono. But I haven't got rid of my mono kit. I've still got my filter wheel, I've still got the camera, I've still got my narrowband filters. But I just find color imaging more fun. Now I know for astrophotography for some is like this, you know, all-encompassing scientific discipline, and that's great. But I put a lot of pressure on myself previous to my break, and I think that's why I ended up taking a break. So now I'm more about the fun and just enjoying it. So have you seen the latest fad or fashion in astrophotography? Is these dual band filters, you know, that let through HA and O3 or O3 and S2 and whatever. So yes, he's got one. Yep.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I am enjoying. I've got I've got an Altair one with a 4 nanometer band pass, which is great for where I am in.
You need it
in Birmingham. Yeah. And I've just been enjoying imaging with that, to be honest. And then a couple of months ago, I bought the for sort of broadband targets. I've got the Amplia. Is it RGB Triband Ultra, whatever it is? I'm a bit confused with that naming, to be honest, because it kind of sounds like it's a narrowband filter, but it's not. So yeah. But yeah, that seems to be working quite well as well, because I was using an L Pro Max before that, but pollution has got worse around here, so I kind of felt like I needed something with a bit more extra oomph, or you know, so I've been using that Amplia for broadband targets. So but I need some clear skies. I just need some clear skies.
That's it. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You know, you're in similar border skies to myself. I may be a little worse than you. You know, not so much, but you really you really image in OSC. So tell me about some of the struggle, because I'm struggling. I struggle big time doing OSC, and because it's not like I don't point at one area. Like I don't have one side of the sky that's darker than the other, because I'm right in the middle of Long Island. So each side is, you know, the west is just horrible, but the north, south, and east are about, you know, I think it's on the SQM at last time I checked was like a 17.8 or something like that. It was pretty bad. But how do
Basically,
you
you've got it
combat
bad.
that? Yeah, it's bad.
So I tend to go shorter. Now I am a big fan of Sharp Cap. I don't use it for my sort of capturing, but have you seen that it has like a smart histogram function where it can tell you sort of the optimum exposure time for you know, where you're pointing and things like that. So I tend to, back in the beginning when I started imaging, I used that a lot, but now I kind of go on my own experience. If I'm pointing in a really sort of light polluted area, I don't want those pixels to be absolutely saturated in my camera. But it is better with a 16-bit camera, because obviously you've got that extra depth. And then I try and take as many images as I can. I've been the absolutely rubbish ones. But I do use PixInsight as well, but I'm a big fan of AstroPixel processors, light pollution removal tool. Yes, absolutely. I've seen you use it, Eric. Now, a lot of people don't actually use that as best as it can be used. I found the best way to do an accurate light pollution model in that software is to do lots and lots and lots of tiny boxes all over the image. I've seen people just do like, you know, 10 boxes all over the images, just, you know, here, there. But if you do loads, if you take the time to literally do, let's say like 200 tiny boxes, you do get a better light pollution model. And it is very effective at removing that from the image. So I do really rate that. Yeah.
I do something very similar when I'm doing APP, because I'll actually move in and I'll zoom in on my images, and it's almost like I'm doing. It's almost like in a way I'm doing like pix per pixel in a way.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. You know.
It drives you crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's a good spot. Yeah, there's some there's too much gradient there, and I have to hunt, you know, sometimes for the right spot. And then but I hear what you're saying.
And literally just taking that extra time to just get that model perfect. And if it comes out not quite as you're expecting, do it again. Do it again.
There you go.
Absolutely go back.
Even if you're absolutely, you know, raging because you've just been putting boxes on an image for the last half an hour, go and make a cup of tea or coffee or something, then come back and do it again.
But somebody's got to write a script for box putting. You know, it's just hit a button and put it on there. You know? Well,
that's kind of like what PixInsight does with its automatic background
the AD,
doesn't it?
sure.
Yeah, I know you can do the DBE as well, but I just prefer the results I get from APP.
Have you tried Graxpert yet? Have you dabbled or played around with it yet? Sean introduced it. He put out a video a while back on Graxpert. It's free and it's a background extractors, and it seems to do a really good job in compared to DBE and APP. So if anybody out there you're looking for some free software to do that, check out Graxpert because it is free. GRAXPERT.
Yep, you got it.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, so and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good extractor, to get rid of those gradients and everything.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the Aurora. If anybody saw the Aurora,
yeah.
Nothing here. I had a friend that went out to Eastern Long Island, which is probably you go all the way out there. It's probably about a Bortle 5, and it's a little bit further north because Long Island kind of goes southwest to northeast, kind of up. So you get a little bit more. But he was up there at 3:30 in the morning. Nothing from New York. So I know some people further north saw some stuff, but not here.
Yeah. I heard about there were a few people like in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, and in Minnesota, which you get closer towards the Canadian border, northern area in Michigan. Yeah, they were seeing. I'm sorry, you were saying, Stacey?
Yeah, we had it here, and it was visible as far south as Oxfordshire, and I didn't get to see it.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not even going to try. It's just too light polluted here.
So, Stace, so when you are acquiring images and whatever, do you use an ASI Air, a NUC, an Eagle, a laptop? What do you use?
I use a mini PC.
Okay.
So the ASI Air is great if you've just got ASI's EWO kit. It's very locked in, isn't it? So I've got the mini PC sort of mounted on the side of my EQ6, and it's great. And I use Nina. I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with Nina. I really hate the interface of it. But I can't deny the results, that, it's really good at what it does, the framing wizard. I love that. That's a bit that I actually love about it. I used to use APT, but because this Newtonian that I've got, it drifts out of collimation probably if I was using my 1x corrector, it wouldn't be too bad. But when you're down at f3.8, collimation is absolutely critical, as I'm sure you know, Eric, with the RASA.
Yeah, the RASA, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I do have to sort of recollimate before every session, because just to make sure it's absolutely spot on. And yeah, Nina is really good with the focusing routine that it does, and I use the Hocus Focus plugin.
Yep.
And I find that that really gives me a good focus curve, and because I use a Pegasus Focus Cube V2, and I've only got one, and I've got that mounted on my Newtonian because with it, it's like I think it's a sort of steel tube. As the temperature drops, the focus point changes.
Yep.
So I do refocus regularly. So yeah, I'm actually gonna buy another Pegasus cube, I think, to stick on my mono rig. So then I've got the choice of two. I can literally go one shot color, or I can literally go, instead of keep swapping over the focus cube from one scope to another. But obviously, I might have to clear that with the bank manager downstairs before I buy anything when I'm meant to be saving for a wedding.
Yeah, exactly. That's it'll be here before you know it. Trust me. A year when you're planning goes super fast.
I can't believe it's nearly a year to go.
Oh man, the next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas again. So I mean,
I'm not ready.
No, neither one. What is this? I saw David Harvey said something.
Yeah.
prior to the Pier, used to cling film to the tripod legs for dog pee protection layer.
Well, luckily Luna is a lady, so she kind of doesn't cock her leg. She just sort of stoops.
She just does a little squat. It's like it's very localized. Where it's same thing with my dog. I got one female and one male, and it's definitely interesting, especially when one dog wants to pee wherever the other dog peed already. So
you just be glad that when they're not out together, the one doesn't pee on the other one's head. So
that's happened. That's happened.
Okay.
That's definitely happened. Well, you got to remember, Astra's this tall, Pepper's this tall, so Pepper just goes underneath.
I have 3, but they're bigger dogs. So yeah, they just our backyard. Yeah, it's theirs.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to spring and this snow thaw. I'm not looking forward to it at all. But someone was asking your opinion on the Altair tri-band filter.
I think I saw it pop up. It was Corin, wasn't it? My best mate.
And I don't know. I have this one here. If you can see that. And,
so that's the Altair one. That's
was Aunt Leah tri-band, not the Altair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Leah.
Yeah. So the Aunt Leah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think Corin's got one now as well.
Yep, that's my buddy Corin. Yep.
Yeah. I like it, Corin. I think it's better for my light pollution situation than the L-Pro Max. But like you, struggling with clear skies. So watch this space, basically.
I'm telling you, and Leah's stuff is really good. I've used them for quite a while. I use the 3 nanometer for my mono camera. I use that set, and really, really good. I remember the first generation was okay. The second and the Pro stuff was just blown away, just by all the coding technology has just gotten so much better with the 3 nanometer level, because as you get to the 3 nanometer, it really darkens and contrasts the whole kind of, especially when you're dealing with high bortle skies. You kind of need that extra little, protection, really, if you think about it,
And I think the halo suppression on all these different filters has got much better than it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I always say a bit of a caveat, like, a manufacturer might come out and say, oh, my filter's halo free, but it really depends on the person's setup as well. Because there might be one component in that optical train that literally causes a halo. So yeah, and Frank, I definitely think that I'm getting better results with the Antlia tri-band rather than the L Pro, just purely because it just suits my sky a little bit better than. I saw that pop up, so I thought I'd just reply.
No, absolutely.
And Leah's are really good. I personally use Aunt Leah's. I mean, I got before Dan went to Optolong, he got his Optolongs. He sent me a couple. I think 1 or 2 of your former.
You bought everything except for the 03, I think.
03, yeah. Leah. So I'm running at Leah here, and they're great. I mean, they really are. Even though, my skies, are slightly better, because I'm at a 5/6, but it's really good. But when I'm using the one shot, this is just me personally, I'm a diehard NVZ guy. I just absolutely love it, especially how with the Rasa, I was capturing, say, the Hork head in Alnitak, how it controlled the star was incredible. So, and that's the big thing to your guys' point, the coatings have gotten so much better,
Absolutely.
on these filters, that they are, they have made some really good improvements.
Yeah. See, I use the Altair sort of narrow band, sort of dual band filters for my one shot color. I was using the tri-band, but now I've got that dual band certified, because it comes with its own sort of optical test reports for each serial number that they put out. You know, you can choose the serial number that you want, and then you get, like, instead of a generic, you know, print off of what it should be, it's for specifically that filter. And that's been working really well for me when I'm doing that kind of imaging. But for the RGB sort of broadband targets, you know, I am loving that Antlia filter.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, one other question I have, I asked this to Katie, you know, earlier this week. I'll ask it to you as well. What is your favorite target type? Do you have a preferred target type that you enjoy more than other?
I love big nebulas. I just love all that gas and dust. I probably sound like I'm proper fangirling over nebulas now, which is probably a bit weird, but like, I just love it. I love it when you're imaging, and on the screen, Nina, your image is popping up. I'm like, oh, you can just see it. You can just see it. Look how mint that's going to be when it's stacked. Yeah. Probably a little bit more excited about that than I should be. But,
no,
yeah.
you know, people, anybody in this astrophotography, you got to be passionate about what we're doing, because we put so much money and so much time and effort into making these wonderful. You can't always have a Jar Jar Binks that like I have. Right,
I just noticed that. I'm loving it.
Well, that was a joke, because somebody on the show said the horse head looks like Jar Jar Binks, so I color keyed Jar Jar's head and put it on the
nice. Yeah.
So, but whatever the case may be, but we put a lot of time and effort and money into this. I mean, you got to be passionate about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because if you lose it, that's why I kind of took a break as well, because I was like, oh, I'm not enjoying this at the minute. I'm just going to take a break. I'm not going to. And I've seen people, they just suddenly sell all their kit, and I'm like, no, don't do it. You might come back to it.
Yep.
And then like 6 or 12 months later, you see them like buying stuff again. I'm like, see, I knew you'd be back. But yeah, so during that break, I just kind of like kept all my kit and just was like, yeah, I'll be back. And you have to get the passion back.
There are some people like that get really frustrated and really like a light switch. They're like, nope, that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. This thing sucks. It's horrible. I don't want, and they do. They just sell everything. And then, I had a friend, I'm not going to mention their name, but I had a friend that went on the hotline and just for our group and said, that's it. I'm done. So I said, oh, really? Cool. What are you selling? I got yelled. So I got yelled at by a couple people saying, dude, he does that every 3 months. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna happen. All right, don't worry about it.
But the one thing, that because you've taken breaks, I've taken a bit, breaks and things like that, is because of this hobby and you're always learning. It's sometimes, at least I can speak for myself, so hard to retain things to retain these things. So I have my Windows OneNote. I've got a huge digital notebook just full of all this stuff. Just because if I take a break, or just because the weather, like this past winter just been so bad and you just can't get out here, you're like, okay, wait a minute. How do you do this again? Or what were those steps again? And so I have to, do that. And if I do take a break, which I have it every once in a while, I have to have that reference, or else I'm just lost all over again. And then I have to discover.
I think it's a great idea. I've got notes all on my phone and stuff, but I've got a friend who she has notebooks, and she has got loads of notebooks, so she's written down everything.
Oh, that sounds like Molly Wakeling, if I know. That's
I've heard of her. Yeah.
She does that. She has books and notebooks of and it's so interesting how she memorializes her imaging day. She has from day one, she'll have imaging day one from like 6 years ago, and she's up to day 980 something now.
I think
So
that's amazing.
yeah, she's been tracking that kind of stuff. You know, she does a really good job documenting what she does. I'm worthless with that. I mean, I got notes and pieces of paper all over. I'm a mess. So it's, you know.
Don't worry, I'm the same.
I got, if I put it in my phone, I got notes in my phone from like 7 years ago that I never looked at since then. You know, they're in there.
Yeah. I've got like astrophotography notes in my phone next to like last week's shopping list and things. So it's like, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Now with you liking the going after these nebulae, emission and reflection, is there one project that you've done in the past or recently that you're like, God, this was like awesome, and I'm just so proud I showed this sucker off all, or I should have this one,
I'm gonna share my screen again, because basically after I got the new, they're not perfect images. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm gonna address all the issues with the new that you'll see from the images when it comes to me absolutely stripping it down. I'm probably breaking it. But yeah, so after I got the nude, I literally went on a bit of a nebula hunt, and I'll see if I can get up some images here. So this was, can you see this on your screen?
Yep, it's coming up.
This Eastern Veil Nebula was the first image I actually took with the nude. And as you can see,
can you double click on that one? Because we just see the thumbnail right now.
Oh, can you? Oh, okay, hang on. So why isn't it sharing?
Do you have two screens?
Do you have two screens?
Okay, hang on. I'm going to stop sharing again and try again. So, here we go. Is this going to work? No. I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back in the room. Hang on. Let me try this. Share.
Yeah, share
my entire screen.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Oh no.
There you go.
Sorry, I am.
That's okay.
I am a bit of a technophobe.
You are now Doctor Who. So
there you go.
Does that work? So this was the first image I took with the nude after I got it, and the detail in it just blew me away. Obviously I've got some issues with star shapes and things. That was because my collimation was like rough. Okay. But I got one of those Ocal collimators to help me out with that. But yeah, I just love nebulas. So this one I really enjoyed doing, because when it appeared on the screen, and I mean, like, I've got these really faint shells here, gas and stuff. I was really happy with that. But then I've always, whenever I get a new piece of kit, I have to point it at the North America Nebula. It's like my go-to. And this I think was, I think this was like something like 40 minutes of integration time, something. And after I got this, I knew that I was onto a winner with this telescope. I've just got to iron out the kinks and stuff, but that's okay. I'm not one of these pixel peepers that's like, if there's a slight dodgy star shape, I'm like, oh no, can't use this image, can't show this anywhere. I'm not really bothered, but yeah, just how sharp it is and the sort of contrast.
Looks great.
I was well happy.
Yeah, that's a favorite. The Cygnus Wall is a favorite of mine as well. That part.
Yeah.
And what focal length is that at with the new?
That was at f5, 1,000 mil, I believe. That was before I got the Nexus reducer. Okay. So, and then have I got one with the Nexus? Yeah, I think this was with the Nexus. And can you see here that I've got some kind of splitting on the diffraction spikes?
Yeah.
And I think that's because I don't think my telescope had a really nice delivery. I think it was practically kicked out of the van when it was delivered. So I don't know if some of the spider vanes on the front of the telescope are slightly not, straight. So these are all issues that I'm going to address when I get it, when I strip it down. But I just love the results it's giving me. In this image I took with the Antlier tri-band RGB filter, and I just thought the color balance that it gave me was just lovely. Some images you see, they, I always say color is what you make it. You can have it green, blue, purple, whatever color you like. If you want to go scientific, that's cool as well, but I just kind of like this sort of natural look myself. But yeah, I was really happy with all these, and that's when I knew that I was on to a winner. Oh, and I've got to show this one because I just love it. Yeah. So
Western Veil, it's an awesome one.
Yeah, but once again, you can see I've got sort of slight splitting on these diffraction spikes. And I put out a YouTube video on my Newt the other day, and I've had some really useful suggestions about, how I can improve. So, I was saying to Dan the other day, I really appreciate all my sort of YouTube followers and whatever, and I'd rather have less followers, but followers that actually interact and, I have quality conversations with, rather than, just 10 millions of followers or whatever that, just are just not there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's right. But bots are bought, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
So yeah, so I'm going to, when it comes to summer, maybe after galaxy season, if we get any galaxy season, because it's still cloudy, I'm going to literally take that Newt to pieces and fix it.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'll stop sharing now, and hopefully this works.
Yep. Just stop sharing. You should be good. And not yet.
Oh, there we go.
There you
go. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. So
thanks for sharing them.
I swear, between you and Sean, you and I spoke about this the other day. Between
I know what's coming.
I am this close to getting a new.
Are you serious?
I'm this close because you know what? I need something a little bit faster with these guys. I need something, but I don't want. I may not go as fast as F38. I may not do that because I don't know if I have the perseverance to kind of just worry about collimation and stuff like that. Even though it's going to happen.
OCal.
I you know what? I have one because I stole it from Eric. So
yeah, so that's one.
I borrowed Eric to test it, because I worked in a telescope shop and I wanted to see how it worked because we were looking on buying it for the shop because we were using the Hotech CT collimator, and it's like, I don't know, it was like $500 for that, but what was it, $200 for the OCal? So I'm like, all right, well, let's see what it looks like. And let me tell you, the OCal, when I did it on a 9 1/4, and then I went to star test it to see, to verify, all I had to do was move one of the screws. Like, I really didn't even have to do it, but I just had to move it like one tick like that. And I was good. That's how close the OCal got to decent collimation inside. So I was very impressed with that. So
yeah, and that's as I mentioned to Dan, I was like, can I have my OCal back because I was outside collimating, in this northern Illinois winter weather, and I even had gloves on, and I'm just like shivering, like trying to collimate my Schmidt here, and I actually. For my Schmidt, it's easy to collimate because you just got the one secondary. I actually ended up getting replacing my Bob's knobs with stainless steel wing nuts.
Oh yeah.
And nylon spacers, and it makes it a lot easier for me to use gloves and then make those turns. First, I have to take the gloves off, and now I've got to get in and actually turn the knobs, the Bob's knobs. So it makes things a little bit easier for me. So I can actually use hand warmers. So, Dan, please, Cal, whenever you can.
No problem. I'll get it to you before. Maybe I'll just get it. Neef is only 2 weeks away.
You know what? That's true. You can just give it to me at Neef.
I'll give it to you at Neef. Yeah, that's
there you go. We're gonna be at Neef. So there you go.
Is that where you're going to buy a Newtonian?
Well, I just got offered. My buddy Scott, when I was up in Canada, my buddy Scott was up there, and we hung out for dinner and some drinks, and he's offering to bring down a Starfield Optics for me.
No excuses. Get it done.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I might just have to say yes. So free shipping.
Yeah.
New adventure.
Although thanks to Sean, I could probably call up Steve Malia up there and just tell him to send me one at this point, because
Do it.
yeah. So do I stay at the 8 or just jump to the 10? I don't know.
Go big. I'd have gone bigger if I could, but I don't think my house is not that big. So yeah, 8 inches currently living on the living room floor.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not the most I'm not the most popular person at the moment. But yeah.
Neither am I.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, if you could see my living room right now with all the Neef stuff all over the place, plus 3 mounts, a couple of telescopes, and just general garbage all over. just, babe, are you gonna divorce me this week? Because I need to know. No, she's super supportive with everything, and she's gonna be coming to Neef, and she's awesome. So
nice.
So
yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's really important. I know. Everybody else has very supportive significant others out there that are, if without that, it could be a lot harder,
Yeah. I mean, Naomi, it started snowing unexpectedly here, and she literally came out and just carrying the scope in with me. I was like, oh, thanks. You're really helping.
My back.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is important.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And actually, there was a question out there regarding carbon fiber newts, and there are quite a couple of them out there. I know that Sharpstar makes an astrograph newt. I know that the Quattro is out there. I'm sure that there are others, but those are the ones that do you know of any other ones that are out there?
I'm pretty sure you can get the newt that I've got in a carbon fiber. Yeah, GSO.
GSO?
OUK or OUK. ASA.
Yeah.
And then ASA is very expensive, but they're large newts.
They just get really pricey.
Yeah,
they do.
And you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, the funny thing is that the newt is probably the cheapest of the bunch, because the refractor is obviously the most expensive usually. The per inch, let's say, let's not say, Joe, because you could get a 16-inch mead if you can find one, and that'll cost you, 15 to 20,000. Then you could get other things like the plane waves, the 12.5s, the 20s, the 30s, all these kinds of crazy stuff that'll cost you, 20,000, 30,000 for the mount, or or more for the scope. But per inch, the refractor is going to be a little bit more expensive than anything else. And it's interesting that you said that the newts can get up there, as far as price is concerned.
Absolutely. I think
Just
that carbon
Dan,
fiber.
Go to the ASA website. Look at the costs on those.
I don't know if I want to. I'm really going to be getting divorced if I do. So
see, that's
seen that meme where the guy's chucking money out like this.
ASA Astro Systems. Here we go. Oh, wait, Germany. They're German, right? Austrian. Let's see. The H4, let's see, the H600. Let's see. The H600 starts at $88,000.
Excuse me?
It's an F7, I'm sorry, F7 RC, full carbon, secondary mirror encoders. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's big. It's big. It's a half.
No.
It's a half meter. It's crazy. Yeah. So,
something like that. I may as Robin. I may as well just give her all half my money right now because I would be in divorce court so fast.
you and me will be that together. We'll get a shack in the Chicago suburbs somewhere.
Exactly. That's it. I'd be after that. Oh yeah, I'd be holding that under a viaduct, under an underpass, because that's where I'm living.
and people will pass right by. You got a $90,000 telescope, and no one will buy it.
Nobody will buy it. Exactly.
Not even for $50 to get you dinner.
Exactly. There's wow. Now,
but people do buy these things.
They do.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on, Dan. Go to Woodland Hills, telescopes.net. There's a used nude.
Oh yeah.
It's a steal on there right now.
Did she finally put it up?
It's posted.
No, is it really?
It's a steal.
It's a steal. Believe me, it's a steal at that price because. But take a look at it. Under the used section, you'll see it. It's in good shape, but it's a nude and it's huge.
Where's the used section? I don't even see the used section.
Okay, under equipment, there'll be like under used. It'll say used, and then it'll open up the used images.
There's the used equipment. I got it. There you go. So let's see.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's like five.
Rapidly googling this.
Change, but believe me, it's an OOUK. But it's in good shape and it's a huge nuke, man. In terms of length,
there's too much stuff in here.
Yeah.
There it is, the OUK, the 16.
Yeah, it's a 16 inch. But look at the length on that thing, man.
I'll share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I knew somebody that had one of these.
Look at that. 6K, man, for a 16 inch.
Get it,
That's
Dan.
unbelievable.
Do it.
I hate to say what I truly feel because I don't want to badmouth anybody, but I'll just say hard pass on that one.
It's pretty big.
It's not the size that bothers me. It really isn't. It really isn't. I mean, I got a Pier outside with that'll handle the weight. I got an EQ8R on a Pier, and it's not the weight and it's not the big. It's just if I'm going to spend $6,000 on a scope, I'm going to buy something else.
So, that's fair.
Yeah,
I hear you. That's fair. Yeah, because
I'll save 4 and buy a Starfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow.
I'm actually really serious. I think I'm seriously contemplating. I was telling Robin just this morning. I said, I think I'm going to be selling another telescope. She's like, another? Really? Again? It's like, what are you getting this time? Because we have the deal. If I'm going to get something new, something's got to leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all right.
And she said, if you buy one more, she'll leave you. Gosh, I'll miss her.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man.
Oh no.
So the whole Starlancer just threw out the GTX 110 because Astrophysics just came out with their new model refractor, and it's been the big thing over at the Astrophysics what is it, the user group on there. And it's funny because my buddy who sold me the 130 is now on the list for the 110. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You got your 130 already. You got the EDF GT over there. You sold me your other 130, and now you're gonna go for the 110. What are you doing? You're just gonna end up selling it to me anyway. So
just let him, because then you've got a scope coming your
just
way.
let him, and I can get him like $1,000 off and not wait the 7 years. That's good, because and you know what the funny thing is about this now? It's not like it used to be with astrophysics. How it used to be was you signed up and they took your order, and no matter what, if you were the first one to sign up, you were the first one to get the scope when it comes out. They're not doing that like this. Everybody signs up and they throw their names into a hat and they pick a name out, and that's who gets the first scope. It's a lottery type thing. And
that's not cool.
I don't particularly care for that type of system, and a lot of people don't. They've been getting a little bit of slack out of that, but I mean, if you're waiting on for like 2 years and somebody ordered the scope 3 days ago and gets it before you, I'd be like, yo,
you'd be absolutely savage.
I would find out where that person lives, and I would go there and wait at his door.
I'd be banging on the door.
I'd get fake ID, and I'd give it to the UPS guy when he comes. Said, yeah, that's me, and then walk away with it.
Yeah, I'd be banging on the door saying, "That's my scope. You've got my scope."
Hello.
Give it me.
Yeah. Hello.
Give me the scope. Give me the scope.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I'd be.
I want my $2.
I want my $2. Give me the scope. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
But AP makes a really, they're known. I got to give them tops up. Their quality and their builds, the marksmanship is just ridiculous. So
I call that like a retirement telescope.
Yeah, I'm fairly close to that. Therefore, that's why I bought it. So
yeah, I wasn't going to say, but
Oh, really?
I've been trying to get in there to do a tour of their space. You know, I'm trying to get in there because they're just up there. They're in the next suburb from me. AP is not that, just 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes away. And I've been trying to get in there. Not so much yet.
Well, in all fairness, Eric, I'm going to be heading your way again in October again this year.
Okay.
So I know Roland and George and those guys, and maybe even Pete knows them all. Maybe Pete could throw us a good word, and if it's really that close, we could go. That we could probably get in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in Belvedere. They're in McChesney Park. I mean, it's 15 minutes away. AP
there you go.
15
do it, guys.
Yes, do it.
We'll do a live stream from AP.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Well,
that would be.
The question is though, is that last time I talked to George, he was working remotely because they hadn't all come back to the shop. Now that was about maybe 6 months ago. So I'm just kind of curious to see if they've come back to the shop now. So
maybe.
And Marge now it's kind of really Marge, and I guess Roland and Marge's daughter. I guess the daughter now is kind of stepping up as being the day-to-day operations. And Marge now is really running
I've
the
been
show as
getting
well.
most of my emails from Marge as well. Every once in a while, I'll get one from Roland, but mostly Marge is the one that's and Marge or George or Howard, or you get the email. One for mounts, one for scopes.
I tell you one thing that's so good about George is that he has a wall of shame, and this is a topic, Dan, that as a fun segment that we need to do is we all got to kind of post maybe once a month what not to do in this hobby and show people some of these images, because I tell you what, you should see some of these projects, man, that people have done. And I go, George, I've sent them several of these things, and I mean, he's in stitches because they're so funny that people do. But we ought to do a segment on that, maybe like once a month, wall of shame, we'll call it.
No problem.
Yeah.
I think you should.
I'm gonna download one that I'll put on my wall of shame. But if you want, give me a second, I'll download it and I'll put it up there. But this time I'm gonna actually download it so you can hear the audio. But talk amongst yourselves while I do this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting eagerly. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a an Astro bin? Do you do anything or put anything up on Astro bin at all?
I do have an Astro bin.
Okay.
It's under AstroStace.
Okay.
I'm really rubbish at uploading stuff. But I do need to put some more stuff on there because I am paying for it. So you know when you're just like, yeah, I've paid for this, and then I've not put anything on there. But yeah, maybe that's the nudge that I need.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
I have to share this one with the collective group. Back in 2017, I'm working at OPT, and I get this call from a guy that's in Arizona, and he's got a Los Mandy G8. And he says, you know what, I'm having issues. I can't see anything with my polarscope. So I'm asking a bunch of questions, and I can tell now he's getting real agitated. And I said, sir, look, before you get angry and you go away really pissed off, send me a photograph of what we've got here. He sends me this photograph, and I swear to God, this is the truth. You know where you really should put your counterweight shaft? Well, what he did is on the Los Mandy G8, he actually to the polar scope tube on the front end of it. And I'm looking at this thing, and I said, you gotta be freaking kidding me. How did you manage to even do this? And I said, sir, how did you get it threaded, first of all? Because it's not supposed to go in there. It's supposed to go up underneath. And now he's getting real pissed off at me. And I'm going, well, sir, no wonder you can't see anything, because guess what? You got the counterweight shaft with the counterweight on it. And I printed this out, and I mean, I'm showing people at OPT, and I said, George, you got to put this one on the wall of shame, man, at AB. It is the funniest thing to see.
Of course, now that I can't find what I want to find because it's just so far back.
It's typical, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, I found plenty of dog stuff and
oh, of course.
You know, I'm getting close though. I'm getting close. So
yeah, I had a friend who was like, the telescope's not pointing where I want it to be. I was like, have you polar aligned? And they were like, what's polar alignment? I was like, well, you kind of need to, you know, align the mount with, you know, Polaris, well, the celestial North Pole. I was like, you need to look through your polar scope to do that. And they were like, no, there's no polar scope there. Like, I'm sure there is, you know. And had a video call, and lo and behold, there was no polar scope in the mount, and they'd just been putting the mount outside and saying, you know, in whatever direction, and then was like, yeah, go to whatever, and it was just pointing randomly, and I was like, you haven't got a polar scope. Indeed, you haven't. We need to get you one.
That is funny.
So not quite a wall of shame moment, but I was like, wow, I didn't know that mounts actually came without a polar scope, but hey ho. Every day's a learning day.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah, you do see a lot, and I've had people say, "Why can't I see anything through my telescope?" I'm like, "Have you taken the cap off?" And they're like, "What do you mean?"
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that's actually one of the things I do a little like a 1 minute kind of short take kind of video, and it's called Don't Get Frustrated, and it's just me doing a bunch of brain farts. One of them is the lens cap is still on there. You see me take it off and make a face, and putting the plug into the wrong spot, you know, forgetting to turn things on, you know, cables missing, all that kind of stuff. You know, we do that kind of stuff all the time. And
it happens, doesn't it?
It happens.
All the time.
Heck, yeah. I remember there was one time when I didn't tighten the counterweight well enough on there, and I walked away, and I'm starting to slew, and then all of a sudden, you know, it went, you get this bam, and Oh man, that was not good.
Eric, speaking of that, I've been at a star party, which was nightfall in Anzo Brago, and I saw a guy literally break his foot with a 20-pound counterweight because he didn't have the toe saver. He took the toe saver, but he had moved it up, man. All of a sudden, man, the weight came down and hit him right on his big toe, and it broke.
Oh my God.
Do you know, I always get really anxious when I see people like posting.
And then the
Sorry.
scope, because he only had the one weight, the scope just comes down like this, man, and it crashes right up against his tripod.
Oh, that's like a double whammy, isn't it?
That is. My God.
So I I'm going to in July. I'm going to the Nebraska Star Party, which is kind of like right into the heartland. And Jeff, who owns Camera Concepts, was telling me a story that he went there for, he brings his stuff, and he's a vendor there and stuff like that. So he would, and all of a sudden, some people just came up to him, and because everything's on like tablecloths. He had all this stuff on tablecloths and tables. All of a sudden, all these people run into the shop area and start closing up the tablecloths and taking the stuff like the Grinch, like on their shoulders and everything. And all of a sudden, everybody's screaming, and like 5 or 6 people are just taking stuff. There was a massive windstorm coming through the valley, and you only got about like a couple of seconds to kind of like pack up and like batten everything down. So they weren't stealing everything. They were trying to save the stuff to kind of go in and help them out bringing the stuff in. So when they got outside, tables were all over the place, and there's this one person by his telescope crying because it was a 20-inch Obsession telescope that was upended. The mirror was out of the rocker box and just smashed on the ground. And it was just a complete mess. He's like, if you're going to go there, make sure you got some tie downs for God forbid something happens. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
Definitely.
Oh, I can't find this video. Of course, I can't find it when I want to. It's just horrible.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to stop looking. I'll send it to you over Facebook, Stace, and you'll see it.
I can't wait.
It was definitely an interesting experience, I guess you could say.
I'm intrigued now.
We'll just leave it at that. But
oh gosh,
what else?
I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was mentioning Tom Peter that I remember where I started an ASI air session. And I just said it, forget it, left, and I was doing it with my Rasa, and I come back in about 2 hours later to check on things, and I left the tri-bat on. I left the focusing mask on, and every 2 hours, everything. Oh man,
that's hilarious.
I've seen another one. I'm down in Las Cruces, and this guy was building this roll-off roof, and I couldn't believe it. I come in and I'm looking at the roll-off roof, and I'm going, "Well, where's the roof?" He goes, "Well, that's the roof." I go, "Yeah, but that's the roof of on the back of a pickup truck, right?" He's got that's in my head going, "Well, what do you do with that?" He goes, "Oh, that's perfect, because what happens when it rains, I pull it in and it protects my equipment. And then when it's dry, I just open up the latch and point my scope up."
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
I swear to God, he had it on rollers, so he could pull it back if he wanted to open it up.
Oh man.
I mean,
I thought about that comedian. You might be a redneck if.
I had one person that said, "I don't know what's wrong with my telescope. I can't see anything. I just bought it from you guys. I'm going to send it back." I said, I mean, what's wrong with it? He's like, I don't know. I just can't get in focus. I was like, all right, well, whatever. It's been, 2 weeks. So just, send it back. And, a couple weeks later, we get it back. And we get the box. And it kind of sounds like this. And I'm like, what the hell is in there? So I open it up, and inside it was a newt, right? It was a little cheap newt. It was like the $300. It wasn't really that expensive, but it's one of those like 114s from Celestron, something like cheap.
Yeah.
But we open up the box and we look in, and down at the bottom of the tube, we see the secondary, the spider, parts of the focuser, everything. It was like a maraca. You took it and you just shook it up like this. And the mirror was a total loss. I mean, it was shipping from like Arkansas or something. Everything was just thrown in there. And I'm like, oh my God, is this guy serious? I was like, yo, you're not refunding this guy, right? But you couldn't even resell it. It was that bad. It was just damaged to the point of no return. So.
I'm pretty sure I saw a guy's RASA that was like that. There's a RASA group. Isn't that your group, Eric?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
And didn't he like have to return it or something? And there was a video, and it sounded like a maraca.
Yeah,
and
he did. Yeah.
And they opened it up, and just pieces of glass fell out. The mirror was still. It was
secondary smashed and everything. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I often think about that guy, because I'm like, what happened? Because I know he was trying to get UPS or somebody to sort of refund him or whatever. But Mm-hmm. I think I remember seeing that video, and I was scarred for life. Literally, I saw it and I was like, that's sickening.
I can say what movie scarred me for life, but I don't think I can on this, since it's a family show. So I don't want to say it. if you want to know what movie scarred me for life, feel free to hit me up on Discord. But can't really say what it is. But yeah, dealing. I mean, Pete's in the retail business like I am. And the stuff that we see, that, I mean, it's amazing what these people do to 5-6 figure telescopes, and it's just like you would never even think to do these things. To perfect example, who sticks a counterweight shaft in the polar alignment hole and gets it to stay? I mean, and put the counterweight on there.
If it fits.
And you have to understand, I mean, with a Lost Mandy, right? There's no threads whatsoever. So the guy had to grind that threaded part of the counterweight shaft in there.
He had to put it through the hole in the RA.
That's nuts. Oh man! And then Dan, I think a while ago I sent you one about a guy, right? I said, remember Dan? We talked about this several months ago, and I said, Dan, we got to put this on the Hall of Shame. But there's a guy that's got basically the focuser. He's got the diagonal. Then he's now got the Barlow. Then he's got the Power Mate. Then he's got the eyepiece. And then he's got the.
Did you need a ladder to see through it?
And you gotta find that, post it, because we
gotta find it. I know I have it somewhere. It's literally like he literally goes to like, I don't know. He's got like 900 magnification, but he's now running it like what we figure out, like f52 or something like that. It was kind of crazy, because it was an f10 times by a 3x times by a 2.5x. So it's like. Wow. It was out of control. It was that.
And I'm sure that there's even on the internet. I mean, we should do that as a segment. Here. Oh, by the way, here's the Hall of Shame for this month. We'll just kind of pick and choose.
Don't do this.
Yeah, if you're an astrophotographer, don't do this. Please don't do this.
Yeah, I mean, like Tom Peterson, I can imagine duct tape. Oh, there's going to be some great photos with duct tape out there somewhere.
Just wrap it up. Just wrap it up. That's fine. Don't worry.
Yep. Trust me, I've got a nice big roll of gaffer's tape right here. Just whenever that happens.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, well.
Oh, yep.
No, later, Newman. Newman saying bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Anything in the chat there? Let's see.
No.
Everyone's just
Nope,
talking.
checking.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody just talking amongst themselves.
that's fine.
And
That's fine.
that's all good.
Yeah, we had about 35 people chatting. You know, at one point, you know, it's not bad for a Saturday afternoon.
No,
And now,
it's good.
now I know
That's
where
good.
they're all going. You know where they're going.
Hmm.
They're all going to Katie's show with you know, because Katie starts at 3:30. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they're
it's
all
literally
going
now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right now.
Yeah.
So listen, people come in and out all the time. So I had a question.
We gotta be nice. We gotta spread the wealth and let everybody,
Absolutely.
they come in and
Yeah.
come out. Yeah. We're just a big, happy community here. It's all good.
See, Dave Schaefer had a question for Stacey.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it might have been so far up I missed it, but maybe when I was looking for my video that I couldn't find. But I'll ask him to redo the question and then I'll put it on the screen. Then we'll see. So you said you didn't have any other projects going on. So now that you're going to get back in the saddle, right? What do you think the first thing you're going to shoot is?
Another nebula. No, I don't know actually.
A big nebula.
A big one. Yeah. No, we are going into galaxy season, and something I've never really been able to do justice to is the Leo triplet.
Okay.
So I might go on that, really.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a go, especially with the extra focal length. So David asks, what gain and offsets do I use on the 26M? I've got the 26C, but it's the same sensor. So I use offset. It really depends on what your sky is like, so that you don't clip the blacks. So I actually use an offset of 100, and gain I use 100 generally. Generally. Sorry. Yeah. But if I'm using a narrowband filter, I go against the grain a little bit sometimes, and sometimes I use 200 for that little bit of extra. But with something like the 26M, I'd probably stick with 100 gain and 100 offset. But obviously, that does depend on your local skies.
Right.
Yeah, you'll just have to tweak the offset here and there, and just make sure you're eyeing your histogram, right? Make sure you're off that left side.
You don't want it, you don't want it on the left, sitting against the left. You want it sort of away from that a little bit. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Well, Dave just got his camera today, so he's.
Oh, that's exciting.
He's a happy camper today. So and I think he's using. Is it my old scope? I think I sold it to Dave. Yeah, I carbon fiber. The carbon fiber Explore Scientific 127. So
okay,
nice.
It's a good scope. It's a popular scope.
Scope is great for the price. I mean, what is it? 3,500 for the carbon fiber 5-inch scope. It's a great price, great deal. You know what I think? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stace.
I said he was going to love it. So.
Oh yeah. But you know what I'm finding funny with many and we spoke about this a couple times. I don't know if it's the same in Europe. Maybe you could shed some light on it. But a lot of places that are makers of telescope glass, and whether that be Explore Scientific, William Optics, whoever else is out, all the AP, anybody, they're becoming more and more secretive on what type of glass they're using. Now, is it for you? For you, is it really a make it or break it thing if it's FPL 53 or FCD 100 or FCD 1 or whatever?
No. It's not a make or break thing. I've got a telescope that's FPL 53, and I've got another scope that I don't believe is FPL 53, but Like you said, manufacturers become more secretive, but realistically, I haven't noticed much difference between the two. Yeah, I think it's more of a, you can say, oh, my scope's got FPL 53 glass. You know, that kind of
more
thing.
of a marketing thing.
It's a status symbol.
Yeah.
It's a status
symbol. Yeah. Without sounding too controversial there, you know, it is literally a status symbol. I feel. Yes, obviously, if you started analysing the spectrum of, you know, photons that come through that glass, you might notice some slight differences. But yeah. They are very secretive.
Go ahead, Pete.
Is it airspace? Is it oil space? I mean, once again, that's all about
space. Is it airspace? Is it this? Is it that? Like,
I'll tell you when it starts dripping.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Like the 2600. What was it? 2600 when it first started out? Yeah, from GWO.
All of a sudden, you got this amoeba crawling across your lens. It's like all of a sudden it gets. It was bad. I mean, they fixed it. Listen, they did the right thing. They fixed it. Everything's fine. But that first, that, you know, they just had to leave.
This is what I say about early adopters.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm with you. You know, but I mean, you know, I got to tell you, I'm super stoked to really do a real. I want to do a real kind of heavy scope, long focal length on that Nix, and to really give it a really big rundown, because, you know, the AP is nice, but it's not a true test of the entire complement of that mount. You know what I mean? It's a great scope, but let's put a 2350 millimeter. Let's do 2000. Let's even get an 8-inch and throw it up there. But I would love to put, like, well, if you want to send it to me, I'll send it back with your OCal. But you know, but you know, something that's nice and heavy, you know, like even like an old XLT 9 1/4 or 11, just throw it on there and see, you know, 27 to 30 pound scope, and throw it up there and take a look.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
I mean,
I gotta hit the road. I got a dog that I gotta go take for a walk, and it's blue sky before the next clouds roll in with the atmospheric river. So I'm going to sign off right now. But Stacey, been a pleasure meeting you. Eric, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Dan, I'll definitely be talking to you shortly. So I'm going to bow out, guys.
Okay, no problem, Pete. I'll see you. I'll see you on Wednesday, probably, right?
Alrighty. Talk care. Bye.
I'm gonna make a little quick switch here. Nice. And hopefully the names stay right. Let's see. I'll check it before I. Oh, lucky I checked it, because Stacey would have been called Sean Nielsen. So we'll change that.
I can take that. I'll take it.
There you go.
Yeah, and you know, right now with Galaxy season happening, I'm just hoping that the skies clear up, because I would like to get the Schmidt out. I've had this love-hate relationship with M106 right now. I don't know why. I've been trying to get this stinking Galaxy for like the past 2, maybe 3 years, and something always goes wrong. Something is always happening, either with I'm doing it with the one shot. Now that I've got the mono, something has happened the past 2 years. So I'm hoping the third year of me going after 106 is going to finally work. You know, we'll see. But
do you know what it is? It's actually your unicorn. It's your unicorn.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Telling you.
I mean, that is. I mean, it's just been crazy, because it's if it's not one thing. I mean, with this 8-inch, and we've talked about this, Dan. You know, we've talked about this, and you know, with Pete and everything. If it was the reducer, because I've got the 2600, which is like the 268. And with this with the F7 reducer, it shrinks down the imaging circle so much, so now it's clipping the corners and everything.
Vignetting.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm getting that vignetting. So now I've replaced that with the Lepus, with the Optech Lepus, which is a bit more forgiving that with that 0.62, and now it has a slightly larger, imaging circle. So I'm going to try that now. Or it's been something where some goofy thing where my collimation, for some stinking thing ends up getting knocked off for whatever reason. Oh yeah, the one other time I was slewing and then the USB 3 cable got caught. And then it almost ripped out. So it's been my freaking gremlin for one reason or another.
I showed you the wide field image that I got of M106 from Cherry Springs. But again, that was with a really wide field. I think that one I was using the Red Cat for. So you don't get the resolution on the Galaxy that really shines when you get some focal length behind it. And but the thing that I was happy about, in that field of view, M106 is there, and there's about 7 other visible galaxies in that entire area, and some really cool star fields, really different color, very, very blue star, very red star, very gold star, all in the same kind. And it just adds to the kind of depth of it. I thought it was pretty cool. But
it is. Yeah, if you do a wide field, there's quite a number of galaxies, in that group, in that M106 area, the M106 group. But when you're using a longer focal length and you really want to try to get really in there and get deep in there, it can get so frustrating. And then I have decided, there's one minute I'm like, okay, if this whole reducer thing doesn't work, great. Now I got to take the whole thing apart, and now I got to try it for F10. At least that way it'll work. The imaging circle will be fine. But now I've gone from 30, like 300-second exposures now to 600 or something like that. Now I've got it's just one of these things that when you have these longer focal length scopes, they're great for the reach, but sometimes the F ratio, especially with a Schmidt, it's like it kills you. It really does.
Eric, quit you complaining. All you do is complain.
Why?
What? All he does is complain. That's it.
No,
I wasn't going to say anything, but
Right. So there's a question out there. Sorry if you already covered this, but how did you discover and get into astrophotography?
Oh, okay, good question. So I've always been into space and astronomy. And when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I really want to take pictures of space, but obviously didn't know the costs entailed in that. So I got a DSLR, and I just sort of took some long exposures and was like, wow, look how much I can see on this, untracked shot compared to, just a quick shot of the night sky. So then I just decided one day I'm going to get a telescope. So I got myself a little Alt-Az Celestron 130 SLT.
Yep.
And I was happy with that. I was looking down the eyepiece, seeing things that I've never seen before. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to try and take a picture of what I can see down the eyepiece with my mobile phone. Literally a month later, that scope was gone and a full astrophotography setup followed. It escalated quite quickly. So I went from that little 130 SLT Alt-Az to and Skywatcher ED80 on an EQ5 Pro mount, still using my DSLR. And then I got a new DSLR, and then I got a new mount, and then I got a different telescope,
camera, more filters.
Yeah, and
$500 or so of precise parts equipment.
It did escalate very, very quickly.
It does. Once you get hooked on, like, you just want to get better and better and better. And of course, unfortunately, better means sometimes it's not about the driver, it's about the equipment. you know people want to say is it the car or is it the driver, you know what I mean? Well, it's a combination. Yeah, it's a combination of both, in this situation, and it is with anything, whether you're racing or playing baseball or football. It's sometimes you do require both, and unfortunately, to get better with certain things does, like you said.
Yep.
There
Right.
goes, so, and it does, but you know what? And I think somebody steered me right on here, because I I have a hard time dealing with mounts sometimes, especially with these encoders, mounts with encoders and stuff like that. With the seeing in New York, my estimation of encoders in New York is like, why am I going to spend an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 more on encoders in New York when all I got to do is beat my seeing, which I'm doing anyway with an EQ6R or an 8?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine said, Dan, I'm going to make you eat those words in about 2 seconds. Said, no matter what you do, something's going to go wrong with the mount one day, and it's going to be because of the inaccuracies in the drive somewhere, whether it be belt, gear, or whatever. That day's going to come, and you're going to wish you had encoders, because that problem wouldn't have happened had you. I said, yeah, but still, that doesn't happen that often. Guiding can kind of work things out, for me. I'm okay with that. And in New York, if I'm guiding under 1.2, which I do anyway, the stars are going to be round because my seeing is just that horrible.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Sometimes, especially with like some mounts I've seen with encoders, they can cause problems themselves.
Sure.
Yeah, sure they can.
So,
now, with you both being in much higher border skies than I am, do you notice what is your usual with your seeing? What do you notice is your average, like full weight half measure of your stars? Do you get relatively low numbers with your stars, or or do you expect your averages to be maybe like 3 or 4, being your average? Or
my average on exceptional nights, probably about 2.7.
Yeah.
On normal nights, 3+.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go anywhere from like mid 2s to early 4s, depending on So, most of the times I'm kind of hanging out in the 3s somewhere.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yeah, and I was kind of curious about that, because you both are in those areas where you have those higher, border numbers because of the light pollution to deal with. Yeah. So I was like wondering how you guys, deal with that and combat that. That'd be, and to your point, especially with you, Stacey, being more of a one-shot color, that's how you can deal with, a lot of that. It's because, being with those one-shot color cameras, you can go a little bit faster. You don't have to worry about changing out those filters, especially being, in the UK, it can go from good to crap to sky.
really quick
really fast.
In fact, I was at the Practical Astronomy show last week or a couple of weeks ago, and there's a company there, they're based in Spain, called Lunatico Astronomy, and they have got a portable cloud watcher. They've already got one out, but they're developing like Mark II of the products, and I'm going to buy one because it's tiny, it's cute, it's about that big, and you just stick it out next to your mount, and it just sends a notification to your phone that the weather is going bad. And I was like, this would be really useful for me because There have been times I've set up, it's been stunningly clear, no clouds in sight anywhere, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere it rains or it snows, and I'm like, how did that even happen?
And you're scrambling out, trying with your telegizmo or something just to try to cover it up.
Yeah. And I'm like, how did that, where did that come from? How did that happen? You know? So yeah, I'm gonna get myself one of those, just to give me that sort of advance warning. Maybe that will see, you know, something that I'm not seeing, because obviously on guiding, it's pretty good. It goes until it's proper cloudy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I was kind of crazy. I purchased a weather station that I put on my roof. You know, just
you did.
big kind of sucker that goes on a pole, and it's got the windometer or whatever, and all it's got it sees lightning strikes and all this kind of stuff, and it goes right down to a little Wi-Fi kind of display. And if it's, I have it set so if it recognizes 1/10 of an inch of rain, it beeps at me and it sends me an alert on my phone. So my wife doesn't like it too much, but I mean, you know, because 1/10 is not a lot. I mean, you could get some, like, you know, so maybe I should raise that to like maybe, you know, 3 or 4 tenths. But I mean, you know, but then maybe it might be too late.
Maybe. Yeah. Now, you primarily image in your backyard, but do you have an opportunity to go to any dark sites in the UK to do anything?
So next month I'm going away just for a week to somewhere that's a lot darker than where I am, and I'm going to take my portable mount, my new portable mini track.
Nice.
That's coming with me. And there is, I'm a member of like a UK based astro group called the UK Cloud Magnets, and they often do cloud camps. They call it cloud camp, at sort of dark sky places. And even if I don't go and stay, usually they're close enough for me to drive up to, and I can take kit with me, and just, you know, stay for a few hours or whatever. But awesome. I did stay there a couple of winters ago, and it was pretty good. We only got one sort of night of imaging, and I just remember like looking up and being disorientated because there was that many stars, like compared to where I am normally, when you literally are like, oh, where is everything, because there's just so many stars, and you just so that
cool. Reminds me of my first time at Cherry Springs. Cherry Springs back then was a early Bortle 2, and you know, so it's my first time there. You know, Stace, you know, we're lucky if we see in our backyard like 20 stars. I mean, you know, and they're only the brightest ones. You know, you see the Big Dipper, you could just about make out Polaris, maybe, you know. So I can make out 3 stars of the Little Dipper, but that's it, you know. So I mean, that's where it ends. And then when you go to a dark sky, I remember going to Cherry Springs my first time, I want to say about 20-25 years ago, and it took me, because there was no plate solving, there was no computer control, there was no ASI air, there was no, you had to kind of polar line, and I couldn't find Polaris because I couldn't even see the little.
You didn't know which one was Polaris.
There was so many stars. It was like, oh my God! It took me like a good hour or two to kind of recognize what I was looking at. And, you know, now I know it's over that tree over there. But you know, but other than that, you know, 20 years later.
I mean, I went to a place in Yorkshire and I took my kit, and it's super dark there in Yorkshire, like in the Yorkshire Dales. And I remember trying to polar align, and I was so busy looking up that I was walking around and I just fell over a wall. I literally fell over this wall.
Oh no.
I just went, woo! Because I was so busy, like, I'm so disorientated where I am. I was walking and then suddenly I was on the floor. And I just went in. I was like, I've fallen over.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
So Mark wanted to know with that cloud monitor, who is it made by?
I think they're called Lunatico
Lunatico.
Astronomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got like the first version out for sale. I think they do a lot of observatory solutions, but I think they're making this portable cloud watcher, which you don't necessarily need an observatory for. You can literally put it next to your kit, and it'll
you don't
you a
need to
message
spend
saying,
$2,700 on a Boltwood 2 from S-Big that you need to hardwire all over the place. But
yeah,
but that's pretty cool.
So-
So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
and they're nice guys as well. I met them at the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And I said, guys, is this for sale? And they were like, not yet. And I was like, damn, I would have literally like bought that right now. Yeah.
Well, if it's in beta and they're showing it, I could only expect it'll be out by the summer or something.
Yeah, they said a couple of months probably, and then it'll be. I think they said about €200 maybe.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
I
That's
think
not bad.
hopefully I've remembered that right. So
yeah, no,
looked
don't
pretty
worry.
cool.
We won't hold you to it. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing about a manufacturer, Pegasus Astro. They're awesome because my Uranus.
Yeah, they've got that one.
They've got this one, and we think that the motherboard might have, it just from random thing that they think the motherboard died on this one, so they're going to send me another board to replace it
That's
under
wicked.
warranty and everything. Yeah, so it's really good when you have a company like Pegasus that does this, and they have great, service as far as
They do.
communication and everything. So I've been working with Elias there in their support department. But so when you mentioned that, I like these little sensors, like the cloud sensor you're mentioning. I don't know if this one does. I think it might do cloud. I'm not sure, but it definitely does. It has an SQM meter. I do know that. So it has those things and a few other pieces. I want to say it might have a cloud monitor on there. But yeah,
I've seen that. It's pretty cool.
Like this, they are really cool. I ended up I got it for myself for a birthday present around Christmas. Because my birthday is just after Christmas, so I get screwed, on presents. But I ended up getting myself, and then I literally I used it for like 2 days, and then it died. So
no. You must have been pretty unlucky.
Yeah, I think I was really unlucky, but they've been great with it. So it was just one of those things. But I'm looking forward to getting it fixed and then getting it back up and going. Because I used it like 2 days, and then it was just clouds, for the rest of the time. And then in January, I finally get the chance to get back out there because it clear night, and it didn't turn on. It was just dead.
No good. No good.
Yeah, dead. And it was after the 30 days, so I couldn't. So it's like.
But Pegasus does a really good job with their customer service. They're one of those companies that do a really good job. I've met Evan and Angelos over at Pegasus, and I'm looking forward to see. Yeah, they're really good guys, and they were actually one of the first people to give AstroWorld the dealership. So we are now a dealer in Pegasus Astro. So
wow.
So
it's pretty cool.
Going to be a lot of fun. So AstroWorld has their own table at Neef, which we're gonna be spreading the word about AstroWorld. So hanging out,
take lots of pics.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna be doing. I almost got the schedule completed. So we're gonna be doing interviews. I got the whole setup, a mobile camera, and I got a handheld microphone that I didn't tell you this, Eric. Those little bricks that they put underneath that says like Channel 2 News on it, whatever.
Yeah.
I got one that says AstroWorld TV.
Did you see?
Oh my God.
You need it. You're gonna be wicked.
It's gonna be classic. It's gonna be great. But the windscreen has road because it's a road kind of. That's the name. So I'm gonna kind of mark it out with a Sharpie And so, but it's got a little triangle kind of thing on both sides that says AstroWorld on it. So
you know what?
That you need to
Having
take a
a
selfie.
mic like that, and doing interviews, all I can think of, I can just think I'm going to be doing these interviews. All I can think of myself is Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty being the guy. Because Bruce, he was the reporter, and I'm going to be talking to people, and I can only imagine, it's like, and I'm gonna be like looking at the screen and
well, at least, it could be a lot worse, Eric. I could put you in front of a vendor who you don't particularly like, and you could be the Jim Carrey from Liar Liar and said,
yeah,
you wait, I can't lie, you suck. Your stuff stinks. I buy your stuff just so I can break it and throw it. Okay. So Neef, if we go live, it's really going to be dependent on the internet there, because the internet in the college, and I'm doing this from what I know, it's very spotty. It's very bad. It may not be worth it to go live for an extended period because it could be just so horrible. But we will be definitely recording a lot of stuff there to make a recap. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And we're also doing, if you're gonna be there, we're gonna be doing a group photo on Saturday and Sunday at the AstroWorld table. So all the speakers that have been around for AstroWorld, all the ones that are friends of the show, including the fans, we're all just going to get there. We're going to be like, I keep on telling everybody, we're going to be the Happy Gilmore of AstroWorld, of Astro. So that's what we're going to do.
I love it.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's going to be good. So just come on over to the table, and say hi in between, but make sure you're there for the picture at 2:00, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
it's gonna be a blast.
But we're at about 2 hours now.
Crazy.
What's that?
Yeah. I say my first Neef. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. It's
enjoy every minute.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And I got to give Eric a little bit more time away from the table, because Eric's gonna need time to kind of take it all in, because he's never been there. So don't worry, I won't have you ball and chain to the AstroWorld table, Eric. So but I mean, Jesse's going to be there also. Pete's going to be there with Woodland Hills. Prima Luce will be there with Tom and Filippo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Scott Roberts is going to be there with Explore Scientific. Jeff Dickerman
ZWO
from Optech, ZWO Memory.
I feel
like
I need to come along one day.
Yeah.
Well,
I need to make it over there.
You know what? How about this? One year we'll do a switch, and I'll go to PAS and you go to Neef, and we'll kind of we'll do one of these.
Cool. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. But we like to do some giveaways, and since this is a special Saturday, it's not a normal show. This will be the third show for the week for us, but we're going to give away a little bit of stuff today. We're going to be giving away today another Masters of PixInsight workshop free. So you could just use it for whatever you want. If you want to learn something about PixInsight, you're able to do it, and it's at any level. So if you want a beginner level one, you could get that. If you want an intermediate level, you could get that, or you could save it for I think it's April 11th is the next one, and they're going to be there doing their 12th rendition of Photons to Photos number 12, and they basically take some raw data. I don't know if they haven't told us yet whether it's going to be a one-shot color, narrowband, or broadband. Mono. But they do a whole kind of walkthrough from soup to nuts after the integration. So you're not going to sit there waiting for it to stack. Once it comes out of the stack, they go over the whole workflow up to the end. So starting at whatever ABE, or actually starting at the crop, that's where they start. So, you know, they crop and then they go on to the final stretch in the ICC profiling. So it's going to be a lot of fun to do that. So we're going to do that. And then what we'll do is, let's see, I could give away, I could give away another tumbler, another wine tumbler, because I have more. So we'll do the wine tumbler too. So we'll do that, and we'll use the IP for AP. And for the wine tumbler, it's only going to be somebody, you know, for a name that we recognize that's on the in the chat. So if not, we'll pick somebody. So
cheers.
Right? Oh, cool.
There you go.
Mark and Bill just mentioned, you know, the photons to photos is going to Warren's going to be covering the Leo triplet.
Is it
they using one-shot color data?
Oh, they must have just put that up. One-shot color Leo. Yeah. There you go. The triplet. All right, cool.
There you go. So yeah, let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
All right. So this first one will be for the regular prize, the Masters of Pixel Insight. We have still 153 people on this wheel, and it's we've had it going for about 2 years now, and we keep on getting people. So if you're watching the show, you want to get on the giveaways, because more giveaways are coming. We're gonna have giveaways from Optolone this year again too, so it's gonna be a lot of fun doing that. Get on it, www.astroworldweb.com, and you can sign up for all the giveaways. So sorry about the ads. I'm not going to Walt Disney World. It's just what they have. As a matter of fact, we'll do this because this kind of stuff annoys me. So I'm just going to take Stacy, and I am going to move her up and over. There you go. So now the ad's covered. So there you go. All right.
I knew I'd be useful for something.
Perfect. Awesome. So here we go. This is for the Masters of Pixel Insight class. This is what we call the Sean Nielsen Wheel of Death, because he introduced us to this wheel. So, and the winner is Jason Cousins.
Congrats.
Jason, there you go. Congrats, Jay. As a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with Jay. He's a friend of mine from New York. So I don't know. Maybe this thing is rigged.
Congratulations.
But congratulations to Jay. And then for the wine tumbler, let me write this down, because I always forget to write these things down when I do two. So Cousins gets MOP. All right. All right. So here we go. So now this is going to be somebody that's going to be winning this. Hopefully we don't have to do this more than once, but you know, let's say Tumbler. Actually, he is a picture of the week winner. So we will definitely send this out to Augustin Herrero. Congratulations to Augustin.
Congratulations.
And there you go. I hope you drink wine. If not, I'm sure it's fine for soda or whatever. It's fine. It's nice. It's insulated in the middle. Keep things nice and cold for you. So Augustin gets a wine tumbler. I'll write that down. Awesome. Yeah, we do a lot of giveaways. A lot of people like it, so we just give it away.
Sure.
Fabulous.
So
cool.
So definitely, you know, for people who are, you know, just joining us and not aware, we do have a store on astroworldweb.com, so you can check it out if you would like to get a tumbler for yourself or anything like that. Feel free to just go to the website there and go to the store. You can check out a lot of other things. I know Dan, you were also showing a while back the big mouse mat, you know, that's out there, you know, so really cool stuff. So, you know,
super mouse mat.
Yeah, the super mouse mat, you know, and so yeah. And if you want to also take part in any of our other giveaways, you can sign up for those giveaways, or even our image of the week opportunities. So if you have an astro photo that you would like to submit, feel free to just go ahead and drop that in onto the image of the week giveaway right there, or you know, the contest, and you can maybe have a shot at getting onto our annual, you know, our calendar for 2024. So pretty cool stuff.
For those of you that missed it, there is the 2023 calendar that we came out with. And every single picture, I just happen to do the same picture, but every single picture of the month is in here. So this is all by our members. And,
very cool.
So we do the picture of the year on the front, and obviously all out of the picture of the month winners, the picture of the year, and none of this is all voted on by the peers. We did not vote on this on the show, so we vote on it by the membership. So it's real important for everybody to vote. We've been doing really good with voting recently, averaging probably about 75 votes a week, and so really nice job with that. But get your votes in, because tomorrow the new picture of the week will be there, and we'll get that up and running. So, and you can still get a calendar if you want it. I do have a couple left. I know it's a little late in the year to buy calendars, but if you want some, I got some. For those of you that don't buy it before Neef, they're going away at Neef. So I'm just going to raffle them off.
Let's bring him to Neef.
Well, what I'm going to do, and I mentioned it last night. So, and Stace, I know we're running a little late, but I'm not letting you go, because you really need to think about this. I really want you to be on Astropalooza in December. So if you can make it happen, I'm not asking for a commitment on live TV. I'm not doing that. I just think about it.
Oh my gosh, the pressure.
Everyone would, I'm sure, would love to have you. It's 30 minutes and that's it. But just think about it. If it's a long way away,
I will think about it.
Yeah. But what we're gonna do is anybody that was a member that's at Neef on Astropalooza is gonna sign them, and we're gonna raffle them off.
Nice.
At Neef. So.
Yeah.
So
really cool.
I'll give a think about it.
Please.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you. You're definitely a pleasure to have. Be great to have you again. So thank you so much for hanging out with us.
No, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's good
stuff.
So,
like I said, I've been a fan of yours for quite some time.
Thank you.
Especially when I first got into astrophotography. So learned quite a bit from your videos. So you helped me quite a bit on my astro journey. So I really appreciate that, and meeting you face to face here. So it's been a pleasure. So I really
I've really enjoyed it, guys, hanging out as well. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just could echo what Eric said. You've been an influence on what I do as well, and thank you so much for doing what you do. You do a service to astrophotography and getting it out there. So I
you're gonna make me blush
she's
now,
starting
guys.
to blush. I see it. The face is turning as red as a stroller down there. But but no,
I'm gonna slide really down in my chair here.
Yeah.
It doesn't go down anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll do one of these. Hold on. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, on a serious note, you do. You've influenced a lot of people. A lot of people in the chat has been saying thank you for doing what you do, and we're glad you're getting back on the horse again and continuing to do what a lot of people really don't have the gusto to kind of get out there in front of a camera and do and help other people. So it's nice. So
thanks everybody.
No problem. But with that being said, normally at the end of the show we do some just final thoughts. So Eric, any final thoughts for tonight?
No, like I said, I just mentioned, like I just mentioned, Stacey, thank you. Thank you to our viewer membership who throw out, some great questions, and your in coming out, hanging out with us on the Saturday, because we normally do this on Wednesdays and Fridays, but thank you for spending, giving us a couple hours of your time. So we really appreciate that. And I can't wait for Neef. We got it's almost like 2-3 weeks away, so I'm really looking forward to it. And just again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us.
Stace, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I do actually. I just want to say, the past couple of years for me have been really tough. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for welcoming me back into, astro and astrophotography, and thank you guys for inviting me on the show. And I did say to Dan a couple of days ago that I like it really chill, and I just really appreciate the invite and just coming on to chat and live long and prosper.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a Star Wars guy, so may the Force be with you.
Yeah, and that as well.
I gotta say, you know, because of the last 6 movies, actually, I've always been a Star Trek fan. I gotta say, you know, I grew up with it, you know, so you know, watching it for dinner, and you know, I've always been a Star Trek fan, and you know, what was it? I forget who said it. Oh, it was Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy, who said, you know, what this actually was. Do you know what this actually is?
No.
Well, for those of you that don't know, Leonard Nimoy is Jewish, or was Jewish, and he used to go to temple every Saturday, and until you get bar mitzvahs, there's some parts of the ceremony that you can't watch. So the younger people actually had to turn their back to the rabbi and not see. And they were, you know, he was young and he was turned around, and he, you know, he wasn't allowed to see, but what, he was young. What is he going to do? He's going to go take a peek, right? So he does. And what he saw was, it's actually a blessing from the rabbi. And as he's blessing, he is like this. And that's how they got the symbol from that.
Wow.
So yeah.
Every day's a school day.
I'm telling you, I am a plethora of useless information. That's, you know, that's what I got to share. So
it's the best way to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big Star Trek fan. But anyway, Stacey, again, thank you so much. And if you don't know this, but the once we put the outro in, we can still stay in the green room if you want. You know, nobody will hear what we're saying. But just so you know, if you want to log off, you're more than welcome. But again, Stacey, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us on a Saturday, and we were glad to do it. So and come out with a new video, and tell everybody at home, Noemi and Luna, that we all said hi. And
I will. Naomi's a bit sick at the minute, so she's lying on the sofa, like, you know, with whatever she's got. So that's why she didn't come and say hi. But yeah,
it's okay.
I'm glad Luna came to say hi.
Well, I'm sure we'll say for the whole membership, we hope she's feeling better, and
thank you.
And
thank you.
Get well soon. So all right, everybody, have a good night. On Wednesday night, no guest. I don't think that's Wednesday night coming up, no guests. We'll just be hanging out again at 9 o'clock. So come on down and hang out with us again. So everybody, have a great weekend. You got, you know, another couple hours left on a Saturday. Stacey's ready to enjoy the wine and watch some TV. You know,
absolutely.
There you go. And I'm going to go and say happy birthday to my brother for his 50th birthday. So, you know what I got for my 50th birthday? You know what I got? I got to stay home because it was COVID. That's what I got. Nobody was allowed out. Nobody was allowed to do anything. It was 2021 February, and I got nothing.
Again, you know what?
I didn't even get COVID. I didn't even get COVID.
There it is. You gotta give me crap about my Schmidt. There it is. Happy birthday.
But you know what? It was such a dreadful year, 2021. It was my 50th, my wife's 50th, our 10th wedding anniversary, January, February, March, and April. We got nothing.
And it was
nothing. So now we're gonna do something like, you know, we're having a barbecue this year, and we're gonna have it called the Return to Everything You Missed During COVID Barbecue.
Nice.
so that's what it's gonna be. So it'll be a party for everything. But anyway, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.